Hi guys, and welcome back to another Technique Tuesday. And today we're going to talk about UFC 309. So I picked out a few different knockouts from the evening that we can talk about. First one we're going to talk about is Oban Elliott versus Basil Hapez. So I like this one because if you watched last week's Technique Tuesday, I spoke about how to defeat southpaws. Okay, if you're an orthodox fighter, how you should fight against a southpaw fighter. Okay, so in this fight, we saw Oban Elliott left leg forwards and his opponent right leg forwards. So a few of the knockouts I suggested last week was trying to slip this lead jab. So if you imagine Bob's got an arm straight out coming towards my head, I'm slipping off to the side. So if I show you from the camera, I'm slipping like that, moving my head to the side and slightly forwards at the same time. Now I suggested a cross to the body off the slip last week, but what Oban did very cleverly is he slipped and threw an overhand right straight onto his opponent's noggin. Knockout. Okay, so if you want to practice that one and add that on to some of the southpaw work we did last week, that's the slip on the jab and an overhand right. Okay, that overhand right coming over your shoulder, that slip just allowing your head to move off to the side as the hand comes over the top and lands on your opponent's head. The second knockout we're going to talk about is Ramiz Brahima versus Mickey Gall. Okay, so for this one, it was actually Mickey Gall being left leg forwards and Ramiz switched to right leg forwards. I don't know if he's a natural southpaw, but in this moment he was right leg forwards. And how he ended the fight, he stepped in with a cross, okay? So he stepped in, got really up close here, threw another hook off his left hand, and then finished the fight with a right hook over the top. So he was right leg forwards, he stepped in with a cross, got close enough that he could land a nice tight left hook, and then a right hook over his opponent's shoulder did the job. So in he came, close that distance, left hook, right hook. Job's a good one. Lights out again. So that was the second knockout from UFC 309. The third one we're going to talk about, and this was the main event, Stipe Miocic versus John Jones, and John Jones ended the fight with a spinning back kick. We spoke a few weeks ago about the liver shot, and one of the techniques we can use to knock out with the liver is the spinning back kick. So you would have seen it pivoting off that front foot. I think we spoke as well a couple of weeks ago about the spinning hook kick. The setup is very similar. You're spinning off that front foot, pivoting on the ball of your foot, and when you throw that back kick, you look over your shoulder, and then the kick comes and lands to the body. Okay, so from the front, it's a pivot on your front foot, looking over your shoulder, and unlike the hook kick, which comes around the side, the back kick comes straight up the middle, like so. Okay, so you can't really dodge it. If you're throwing this one, you should kind of feel your knees coming together. I always like to imagine, think of like a horse in a stable, kicking straight out behind it. The back kick's a little bit like that. So it's that turn and spin and kick all in one motion. So for John Jones, he did that turn on that front foot, span through and landed, kick to the liver, and that just about ended the fight. A little bit of ground and pound to follow up, but it was the spin back kick to the liver that really did the job. So that was 3 knockouts from the UFC 309. Go and watch the highlights. They were really, really good knockouts, and I hope watching this instructional video has given you some ideas for stuff you can use yourself. If you're looking for classes here in Inverurie, then come along to our dojo. We do trial classes as well, beginners for all ages from 4 and up. Come along, give it a try, and hopefully you can learn a few new things. Okay, one final time, bow out. See you next week.